Top of the morning, good people. Welcome to another edition of W Instance with your boy E-Dub. Dropping gems, taking 0 prisoners. First things first, I want to start off by thanking all the new subscribers that subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with me. And I hope you enjoy the content that you get here. I'm not always right, but I'm not afraid to be wrong. That being said, there were 2 games on yesterday. Indiana Pacers played the New York Knicks. I told you guys, the Indiana Pacers were going to go back home and they were going to tie this series up 2-2. It's exactly what Indiana did. They went back home. They tied the series up 2-2. Minnesota, the Minnesota Timberwolves play the Denver Nuggets in Minnesota. Okay, the first game Minnesota went back home, they really wet the bed. They didn't show up to play that night. They got right off of their own home court. Last night, at least one of the Minnesota Timberwolves showed up to play. Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man. But unfortunately, you're not going to beat the defending champions with just one man. So again, Denver beat them. Denver's tied up that series 2-2. Now, for myself, personally speaking, I'm a little bit nervous. On a percentage-wise, my predictions have been, I'd have to say, in probably the 80% bracket. But I had picked the Minnesota Timberwolves not only to upset the Denver Nuggets, but I picked them to also win the championship this year. I'm a little bit nervous now. Why? Because the champs are starting to gel. They finally figured certain things out. They've learned how to deal with the length that Minnesota has to offer. They've learned how to deal with the athleticism that Minnesota has to offer. So I got to chalk it up to the coaching staff, number one, for doing the right things on their off days and working proper schemes out to find ways to attack Minnesota, to deal with Minnesota's length, to deal with all the issues that Minnesota gave them in Denver. It's unfortunate now because now the series is going back to Denver, with Denver having the momentum. So now we're going to really see what Minnesota's really made of. I realized just last night, believe it or not, that I am also a walking contradiction. Why? Because I said OKC was an amazing team, and I still stand behind that. But I also said that the OKC Thunder, they were not going to beat Dallas. Why? Because now experience is going to start to play in. I didn't use that same approach with the Denver and the Minnesota series. But it's okay. I made a prediction. I'm going to stand on it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's just life. I'm okay with that. We move on. We live to play another day. I'm okay with being wrong. I mean, with the majority of predictions I'm making in these playoffs right now, you guys go back and check out my videos. I haven't been wrong too many times. But I am going to tell you guys, I'm being very, very honest when I tell you, the Denver Nuggets Minnesota Timberwolves series after last night's game is making me a little bit nervous. I do believe Minnesota could still win this series, but they got to get mentally tough. You see, that's the one thing. Denver's been through these wars before. They had to go through all this last year in order to win the championship. So they're battle scar ready. That's the one thing that Minnesota doesn't have. So that's why I say experience plays a long thing when you're going for a title. And before I went right out there on the edge with saying Minnesota was going to win the championship, I should have taken a step back and really put that into some serious consideration. Experience plays a very, very large role when you're going for a championship. I just know that it's very, very difficult to win back-to-back. But after what I've seen Denver do, it looks like they're equipped. They've got the right mindset, and they've got the proper coaching staff to get them ready for that journey to try and repeat. That being said, people, I want you guys to share, like, and continue hitting those subscribe buttons. W the Sense with your boy E-Dub is out. I want you guys to have yourself a wonderful Monday, people. You start your week off right, the rest of your week goes smooth as gravy. Deuces.